What is up, awesome people, and welcome back to another Wi-Fi Wednesday shenanigans! Yes, number 2 for tonight. I am aiming for the big one, people, because I've been lazy, KrimZen, for the last couple of months for Wi-Fi Wednesday. Let's just don't beat around the bush here. I've been lazy, KrimZen. So to make up for how lazy I've been with Wi-Fi Wednesday, I'm going to bring you 2 or 3 maybe uploads tonight. See how I go. See if I can do a third one for tonight. But regardless, we are now finally on April for IC, which is absolutely amazing. So we've finally pushed past February and we're up to April. I was going to get through this month and the next IC and we're finally up to date. Hopefully we can get there before the next IC. That would be absolutely amazing. Okay, so here we go. First battle, I'm going to be starting from day 3 this time instead of day 1 because the more interesting battles actually happen on day 3. Okay, so they're landing with the Torkoal and the Garchomp lead here. So kind of commonly Pokemon that you see in VGC. Torkoal known for its Drought, Solar Beam, Heat Wave, and all the other shenanigans there. Garchomp, normally Grandium Z or bulky sets with Sword Dance, or it could be Life Orb. All bunch of random sets you can see on Garchomp. It is very standard-ish on VGC. So here comes the most common standard set of them all. We've got the Grandium Z Garchomp here, so I'm a little bit worried here. I'm not really too sure what Garchomp EV spread this is running, because obviously this is turn 1. Going for the Tectonic Rage onto my Slowbro, which is extremely devastating here, because if I don't leave this, I don't get my Trick Room up. Obviously, as we all know, my teams rely on Trick Room at this point in time. And also, as well, because we are in April, we are using a brand new team. So all the team info, as well as on the end of the video, including updated moves, which have been changed between February and April, as well as a new Pokemon that have been introduced to the team. So I managed to live there from the Tectonic Rage with very low health, and I get hit by Heat Wave, brings me down to the red. Wiki Berry kicks in, so I get my health back up to the green. Go for the Ice Beam onto Garchomp. I'm hoping for an Oko here if it's like one of those dedicated sweepers, but unfortunately I just miss out on the KO there, which means it's running a little bit of bulk into it. I would say it's a bit more of a bulky-ish sweeper rather than just a dedicated sweeper. So I go for the close combat onto the Torkoal, brings that down to the orange because I was a bit afraid of things like Solar Beam and all that. And because I went for the close combat, I did get a -1 in my defense and special defense. And because of that, I was able to be taken out by the Dragon Claw from the Garchomp, which without any Life Orb or Sword Dance up, doesn't exactly hit very hard. So that was quite devastating. Alright, so Exeggutor comes in to replace the Hariyama. Yes, Exeggutor is still sitting on this team. Torkoal goes for the Solar Beam there, and I just managed to live there on 2 HP. So I could imagine the salt that's running down these person's eyes after they saw that live. So that was quite a salty live there on my part. But that was awesome. I can go for the Skull, take out the Torkoal there, and because the Garchomp would live on very low health thanks to the previous Ice Beam, could go for the Flamethrower there, boosted by the sun, and take out the Garchomp regardless of the -4 resistance there. Okay, the last 2 Pokemon reserve is going to be the Machoke and the Ninetales Alolan form. So they're going to swap the weather to hail here, so I no longer have a boost from the sun from my Flamethrower from both Exeggutor and Slowbro. So at this point in time, I actually do finally now have Flamethrower on my Slowbro. I actually was whinging the entirety of February saying I don't have Flamethrower, it's really screwing me over. I finally fixed that issue. Okay, so because of that, the Machoke running Bullet Punch and Slowbro living on 2 HP managed to knock me out with a Bullet Punch coming from the Machoke. So I was like, oh, I just lost to Machoke. I'm pretty salty at the moment. Oh, and look at that, the Everlight plus the Aurora Veil coming from the Ninetales Alolan form makes that Machoke actually pretty bulky. So I was like pretty shaken up at this point. It's like, oh, I might be losing to a Machoke here. That's something you don't see every day. Okay, my last Pokemon reserve is going to be the awesome God Horse Mudsdale. Going for the high horsepower onto the Machoke to see how much damage I'm going to do to this thing. I do absolutely bugger all to that thing just to show how bulky that thing is with an Aura Veil up and the Everlight as well. So it's most likely max health, max attack, Everlight. That thing gets really bulky, as you can see. So it's going for the knockoff. Got to knock off my Citrus Berry, so I can't harvest that back. Ninetales also died to a Flamethrower, I do believe. So at this point, it's just the Machoke versus the Exeggutor and the Mudsdale. So at this point, I was like, I really want to see what this Machoke can do. Trick Room also ends, which means Machoke is going to most likely outspeed me, which it does. Goes for the Dynamic Punch. Will it take the kill? Unfortunately, it just misses out. I was like, oh, but I am confused. Hit myself in confusion. I would actually like that. I'd like to actually see 2 Pokemon go down to this, but unfortunately, I do bypass the confusion. It's one of the few moments where I actually don't hit myself in confusion. Go for the Draco Meteor. I do so little damage to that Machoke because of how tanky it is at the moment. Get the -2 on my special attack and take the game with the high horsepower from the Mudsdale. I was like, oh, I actually did want to see the Machoke take up one of my Pokemon. But oh well, it was extremely nice seeing something like a Machoke come on to VGC 17. So I was like, if only I could see that more often. Something like unique, something that could take my heart, something could like leave some type of imprint on my brain, be like, that's awesome. I give props to that person for using the Machoke, and when you don't see anything like extremely unique. Speaking of unique, we move on to Battle 2, which has a Commono which I have never seen, and yes, I'm going to be mispronouncing that Pokemon's name wrong throughout this entire Wi-Fi Wednesday, so forgive me, my dyslexia just too strong here. Anyways, we got the Executor and Togedemaru lead. So yes, Togedemaru has finally made it onto my team. April was the debut of Togedemaru on the VGC 17 after making a huge impression from the Sunroom team, which is where Togedemaru actually made his official debut for this channel. Anyways, I'm going for the Fake Out on the Commono because I thought Commono was a bigger threat than the Drampa. Drampa goes for the Flamethrower, and at the same time I am personally using a Drampa myself, so I was like, I know what Drampa runs, so if it doesn't use Fire Blast, Togedemaru should live, thanks to the bulk I am running on Togedemaru, and yes, I do live on 6 HP, which is awesome. So I'm going to swap out Togedemaru and bring in the Slowbro here, because I know Clangling Scales does drop Commono's defense by -1, so I can make use of that and swap in Fake Out later on and do some damage when it's already used a few Clangling Scales. I'm going to go for the Draco Meteor here because I actually thought Drampa would be the bigger threat than what Commono is. That's what she thought. Anyways, she will regret that decision a little bit later on in the battle. So Drampa goes down. I thought, yeah, this is good. Clangling Scales comes through once more, so it's going to hit both of my Pokemon for a lot of damage there. Executor just hanging on there with the skin of its teeth with 2 HP. Citrus Berry kicks in. I was like, if I don't kill this thing in this turn, I am dead the next turn. I'm going to have a double KO, which is not good. So they're going to sing on the Katana as well for extra pressure on my side. So it was like, okay, I kind of have to figure out what I'm going to do here. And I do believe I probably made the worst play here. I probably should have gone Ice Beam from Slowbro, hit to the Commoner, which probably would have taken it out, I would say, and then used the -2 Executor Flamethrower to take out the Katana, considering Katana has very, very weak base special defense. So even at -2, I would say I would have taken it out from full range. I don't know, that's just what I'm thinking from hindsight anyways, but regardless, the, whatever I did that turn, I think it was like another Draco Meteor at -2, doesn't take out the Commono, does bring it down to the orange however, but the next Clanging Scales is of course going to take out both of my Pokemon, so at this point I'm assuming it's Choice Specs, it has to be Choice Specs, judging from the damage, or it's Choice Scarf, one of the two. I'm not really too sure what Commono runs in VGC, because as I said, this is about the only time I've ever seen Commono. Okay, so my last 2 Pokemon in reserve come back into play. So I've got Togedemaru on 6 health and I've got Mudsdale left. So at the moment, that's a relatively even game. I can't speak English at this point. Awesome. So I go for the Fake Out at the -2 defense, I do believe. So that brings the Commono down to like red or something. Shadow Snake sort of kick in and take out the Togedemaru. So I was like really happy at that point because I managed to at least deal some more damage to the Commono. And at that point, I'm thinking, why didn't I go Earthquake? I knew they were going to go Shadow Sneak onto my Togedemaru, unless I was thinking they were going to play Cocky and go for like Sword Dance or something. So I guess that's why I went for Heavy Slam, breaking the skies on Mimikyu. Anyways, last turn here, sorry, second last turn. Gonna go for the Earthquake onto the Mudsdale, take out the Commono, and do a massive amount of damage there to that Mimikyu, bringing it down to about the mid-orange range. So good knowing that that thing went down. That thing was a huge pain in my rear side most of that battle, that Commono. So major props for actually, as I said, using a Pokemon that I very rarely see in VGC. So Shadow Claw there on the Mudsdale doing a little bit around the 1/5 damage there, I'd say. Trying the crits here as well is about the very best they can do here because at this point Mudsdale can just go Earthquake or Heavy Slam and just take out the Mimikyu from the range it's sitting at. So there's the final move, Heavy Slam onto the Mimikyu. And that's GG, well played. As I said, major props for both of these opponents so far for bringing 2 Pokemon that I very rarely see, or even see at all in VGC. I mean, heck, who brings a middle cut Pokemon outside of Porygon 2? So major props to the first opponent anyways. Okay, so last battle for this video, we have, of course, a very standardish looking VGC 17 team. So this was like the very last battle that I think I had for day 3. So it's like, this could go any way at this point. I'm either going to get absolutely annihilated here, or this could go very, very well. So their opening lead is going to be a Ninetales Low and From, which by this stage I was probably sick of seeing at this point. And Tapu Lele, which I think off the top of my head I didn't see that much at all in April. As I said, I can't remember, it's a couple of months ago now. Okay, so obviously Psychic Surge goes onto the field, which means no priority can be used, and Psychic type moves get boosted by 50%. Gonna go for the Protect here on the Dramper, predicting something like a Moonblast or a Psychic coming Dramper's way. Aurora Veil going up on the 9-Tail side, raising the defense and special defense of the opponent's Pokemon by 50%. I was like, this is going to be awesome. I probably could have O-code both of these Pokemon in turn 2 if it didn't actually use that. So that was a bit unfortunate. So Trick Room goes up from the Slowbro, which is awesome. It's always awesome getting the Trick Room off. I mean, there's so many things that could stop Slowbro, like Wild Charge Tapu Koko, for example, as we saw in the previous Wi-Fi Wednesday, which went up a couple of hours ago. So Hail's going to do a little bit of residual damage there to the Tapu Lele. I go for the Flamethrower on the Slowbro for the Ninetales, and that's going to do relatively nice damage there, considering it's got the 50% reduction there from your Aurora Veil. Do get the burn, however, which is nice, so I'm going to get some nice residual damage there to the Ninetales. Shadow Ball does 3/4 damage, and keep in mind as well, as I said, the 50% reduction as well on my damage, all my moves. So that was extremely nice damage. It's kind of a shame to know I actually would have O-code that Tapu Lele if it wasn't for Aurora Veil. So Moonblast or Psychic, whatever it used, just O-code my Dramper ease peas there with the Life Orb damage as well. But because of the Life Orb, it is taken down to the red with residual damage. Icy Wind there on the Slowbro is going to do very minuscule damage, which is nice. Do get the speed drop, so there's no way in this wide world anything on the opponent's side is going to be outspeeding my Slowbro now. So Hail damage is slowly weakening that Tapu Lele, so hopefully next turn Hail and Life Orb should take out that Tapu Lele, because I can't use Fake Out for my Hariyama, and top off as the fact as well, Trick Room is up, so something I'm going to have to protect to ignore the damage here. Nope, they're going to swap out completely and go into the Alolan Persian, predicting something like a Poison Jab coming their way, which was a very smart move on their part. Do go for the Flamethrower on my Slowbro, that's going to hit the Alolan Ninetales once again, and that's going to be a massive critical hit there, bypassing the Aurora Veil, which takes out the Alolan Ninetales, which was extremely nice there. Poison Jab, as I said, which was predicted on the opponent's part. Very nice play on their part, as I said. And I get another critical hit. I was like, damn! Talk about nice luck there. I actually really needed that, because there was a Tapu Lele still hanging around. And I think they haven't revealed their last Pokemon. We'll find out in 1 second. Okay, so my Flame Orb kicks in there, and their last Pokemon they have revealed in reserve is going to be the Arcanine plus the Tapu Lele, which is badly weakened in the back as well. So Intimidate's going to kick in there on the Hariyama, negating the Guts boost that I got. And it's going to have Psychic Seed as well, so it's going to be raising special defense by +1, meaning it's going to take my Scald really nice. So if it's like a Snarlset or something, I'm in a lot of trouble here. So I'm going for my first Scald, and with the +1 in special defense, it's going to do about 1/4 damage there, which is quite nice damage actually. Go for the close combat on the Persian, and unfortunately due to that -1 in my attack from the Intimidate, I can't take out the Persian, so it leaves badly in the red there. Flare Blitz from the Arcanine after that -1 in my defense and special defense from close combat is going to be enough to take out the Harry. Oh, sorry, my bad. I do live the Flare Blitz, so it's a bulky Arcanine, so that's nice to know, but unfortunately I'm going to go down to the Snarl from the Persian, so that was kind of bad luck. I would have died anyways from the burn anyways, and the hail, so I guess I was going to die regardless of what was going to happen there. So more hail damage there to my Slowbro, bringing me down to the orange. Hail damage on the Arcanine and the Alolan Persian. Hopefully that's enough to take out the Persian. Yes, it is. So the Persian goes down after taking a few hails there, which means the Tapu Lele is forced to come back onto the field, which means no more Psychic Terrain after this turn, I do believe. So here comes that Tapu Lele, badly weakened now on the red, so I have a badly weakened Arcanine and Tapu Lele to go up against. Tapu Lele going for the Protect there to try and stick around for one more turn to try and stall out that Trick Room. Skull from the Slowbro is going to take out the Arcanine, I do believe. Oh no, sorry, it lives on 1 HP, god damn it. I hate when that happens. So hopefully that hail takes out their Arcanine. Nope, it's going to take itself out with Wild Charge. How nice is that? And it doesn't get the kill as well from the Wild Charge. How disappointing is that? Oh man, I could smell that salt. That salt smells so good in the morning. Okay, so the Wiki Berry is going to kick off there on my Slowbro, and with the Tapu Lele being the last Pokemon in reserve, this is pretty much game for me. So the Hail ends, and the Trick Room ends, and the Psychic Terrain ends as well. Well, there's a lot of things that ended that turn. And with that, the final turn, the final Desperation move is going to be Psychic, which is going to do mediocre damage there to that Mudsdale thanks to Max Health and Assault Vest on that God Horse. A Life Orb nearly takes out that Tapu Lele. My god, things living on 1 HP tonight is absolutely insane. And that Heavy Slam was probably way overkill there, plus the critical hit. My god, that game wanted me to win that pretty badly there, I think, at the end. Critical hits, and critical hits was all that happened in that battle. That was absolutely unreal. It was about probably the nicest the game actually acted all night for me, considering I think I had a lot of bad luck before that battle. Anyways, guys, that's it for that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, please check out the previous Wi-Fi Wednesday that went up a couple of hours beforehand. That's the end of February's IC if you wanted to check that out. And as I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to see the team overview in regards to ABs, EVs, and movesets, as I said, a few Pokemon did get updated with their moves, and I did add 2 new Pokemon to the team for IC's April. So if you want to check that out, make sure to check the outro. They'll have all the information there. And hopefully I'll have another Wi-Fi Wednesday up in a couple of hours' time, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try and bolt through these ICs as fast as I can before the next IC in case I choose to do that. But until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!